Hey everyone, we are trying to hit 1,000 subscribers and we really need your help. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button as we get started. Vikings Nation, something happened this weekend that changes the entire framing of how we think about the 2026 Minnesota Vikings season. Not the two defensive linemen signed after rookie minicamp. Not the Cooper Rush situation. Not the schedule dropping this Thursday, though we are absolutely going to get into all of that. The thing that changes everything is 6 words that NFL Network insider Tom Pelissero dropped on the Rich Eisen show that nobody in the media was fully expecting to hear. 6 words that reframe the entire quarterback situation in Minnesota. 6 words that tell you this competition between Kyler Murray and J.J. McCarthy is not going to be a polite professional evaluation where the incumbent gets to watch the veteran operate in August and gracefully yield the starting job. 6 words that tell you this summer might get uncomfortable. I don't know frankly how friendly that quarterback room is going to be. That is a sentence from the most plugged-in insider in the NFL. And it tells you that what is about to happen between these two quarterbacks in Minnesota this summer is genuinely real, genuinely high stakes, and genuinely unpredictable in a way that almost nobody saw coming when Kyler Murray signed with the Vikings in the offseason. If you are new to this channel, hit that subscribe button right now because the Minnesota Vikings 2026 season is shaping up to be one of the most compelling stories in the NFL and you need to be here for every development. Drop a like, leave a comment below telling me who you think wins the starting job. Is it Kyler Murray or J.J. McCarthy? And let's get into everything. Let's start with the full context of what Pelissero reported, because the complete quote deserves to be heard in its entirety rather than the shortened version that circulated on social media. Speaking on the Rich Eisen show on May 10th, Pelissero said the following: "They envision it being a true competition, Kyler Murray versus J.J. McCarthy. And both these guys are going to go into this believing they're going to win this job. I don't know frankly how friendly that quarterback room is going to be. It's going to be a very competitive quarterback room. From everything that I've understood, it is truly wide open. They're keeping an open mind as a coaching staff. That is not a polite nothing burger of a statement designed to protect feelings and avoid controversy. That is an NFL insider with deep league relationships saying, in as diplomatic a way as possible, that the tension in that room is going to be real, the competition is going to be genuine, and the outcome is not predetermined. This matters enormously because of the assumptions that existed going in. When Murray signed with Minnesota on a 1-year, veteran minimum deal, possible because Arizona is still paying him $36.8 million this year, making him one of the most affordable veteran quarterbacks in the market, the widely held assumption was that he would be the starter and McCarthy would be his backup learning and waiting for another opportunity. That narrative made intuitive sense. Murray has 87 career starts. He has been a Pro Bowl quarterback. He was the first overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft. He was, until the end of his Arizona tenure, one of the most dynamic players in the NFC West when healthy. He did not take a veteran minimum deal in a completely new city to sit on a bench. He came to win a starting job. But the assumption was that the job was essentially his to lose. Pelissero's reporting says something meaningfully different. The job is neither player's to lose. It is up for grabs. Completely. Which brings us to J.J. McCarthy, the 10th overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, and the argument, uncomfortable as it is for some Vikings fans, that his ceiling makes the competition genuinely worth having. In his 2 years as a professional, McCarthy has had a missed rookie season due to a knee injury and a sophomore campaign in which he went 6-4 as a starter but posted 12 interceptions and a 57.6% completion rate that generated real and fair criticism. He has not been good enough. He has not taken the steps forward that a first-round quarterback at the 10th pick needs to take in year 2. And yet, the argument for J.J. McCarthy in 2026 starts with one simple reality. He is 23 years old. He has 5 more years of prime athletic development ahead of him. His arm talent is genuine. His processing speed, while still raw, has shown flashes of the kind of quick decision football that Kevin O'Connell's system rewards. And he has something that Kyler Murray does not have at this stage of their respective careers, a long runway ahead of him with no ceiling yet established. Now here is the part that Vikings fans need to sit with before they dismiss the McCarthy side of this competition too quickly. Sam Darnold. Yes, that's Sam Darnold. Before last year, before Kevin O'Connell, before this scheme, before this wide receiver room, Sam Darnold was the cautionary tale everyone used to explain what happens when you draft a quarterback who cannot handle NFL complexity. He had been passed over by 3 franchises. He was a reclamation project. And then he came to Minnesota, won 11 games, took the Vikings to the playoffs, and proved that in the right environment with the right coaching and the right weapons, quarterbacks can be remade. If O'Connell could do that with Darnold, why is it impossible to believe he could do it with a 23-year-old who was the 10th overall pick and has genuine physical tools? The most honest answer is, it is not impossible. It might even be the best-case scenario for this franchise. Because if McCarthy wins this competition, if he walks into September as the starting quarterback and he plays well, the Vikings are not just winning games in 2026. They are potentially winning games with a franchise quarterback for the next decade. Kyler Murray, with his phenomenal talent and his absolute ceiling as a player, has a timeline. He is 29 years old. He has missed 26% of career starts due to injury. His athletic advantage over opponents shrinks as the league ages around him. He has a 1-year deal. His window in Minnesota is defined. McCarthy's window, if he is the answer, is essentially unlimited. But let's be clear-eyed about where the competition actually stands. Murray, statistically and experientially, has a meaningful advantage walking into training camp. His completion percentage, passer rating, touchdown-to-interception ratio, and experience in big games are all superior to McCarthy's current resume. He has the chip on his shoulder of getting cut in Arizona after a contract dispute and a series of injuries that cost him time. He is coming into this situation with everything to prove and a receiver room, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and newly signed Jauan Jennings, that is by almost any measure the best in the NFL. If Kyler Murray cannot play well with Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and Jauan Jennings around him, then the problem is something that no offensive scheme can fix. But if he can? If the right environment in Minnesota does for Murray what it did for Darnold, that is a very good football team. And this brings us to the Kevin O'Connell conversation that has been percolating in Vikings fandom since the offseason, because there is a widespread assumption that needs to be examined honestly. The assumption is that with all of these new offensive weapons, Jennings in the slot, the restructured offensive line, Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason in the backfield, the Vikings are going to shift toward being a more run-heavy team in 2026. That O'Connell is finally going to put the football on the ground more, reduce his pass rate, and build a more balanced attack that takes pressure off the quarterback. And while that is an understandable hope, the evidence suggests it is not quite how this is going to work. Think about why Jauan Jennings was signed. Yes, he is a good blocker. Yes, he has physical toughness in the run game and the kind of big slot presence that creates mismatch problems for smaller nickel corners. But the primary value of putting Jennings in the slot alongside Jefferson and Addison is that it gives O'Connell the ability to operate 11 personnel, spread formations with 3 legitimate wide receivers, against virtually any defensive alignment in the league. You have the best wide receiver in professional football in Jefferson. You have one of the most dynamic young slot receivers in Addison. You now have Jennings, who at 6'3" and 219 pounds is genuinely difficult to handle in the slot. That combination of personnel is not a run game innovation. It is a passing game nightmare in a new and slightly different outfit. O'Connell's offense has historically operated at roughly a 60% pass rate. The expectation from analysts and insiders who cover this team closely is not that he flips to a 50-50 split. It is that he becomes slightly more efficient at manufacturing run-game moments within the same pass-first philosophical framework. Getting receivers involved early in the down and distance counts. Using quick screens and manufactured touches that show up in the receiving stats but function as run-game substitutes. Keeping the offensive line in rhythm with physical play-action concepts. This is not a team that is going to abandon its identity as a passing outfit. It is a team that is going to make that passing outfit better, harder to stop, and more versatile. And that context is relevant to the quarterback competition. Because in this offense, this wide-open, pass-centric, concept-heavy scheme. The quarterback who wins the job is the quarterback who can operate the passing game most efficiently. Not the quarterback who can hand off the most reliably. Not the quarterback who can generate the best rushing stats. The one who can throw the football accurately and quickly and efficiently within Kevin O'Connell's designs. On those criteria, the competition is genuinely interesting. And that is exactly what Pelissero is telling us when he says it is truly wide open. One final note before we close, because it deserves to be said. Adrian Peterson is being inducted into the Minnesota Vikings Ring of Honor during the 2026 season. And if you are a Vikings fan of a certain age, if you watched AP rush for 2,097 yards in 2012 and chase Eric Dickerson's all-time single-season rushing record and basically carry a team on his back all the way to a playoff berth, this moment means something real and emotional. He was the kind of running back who made you leap off your couch on first down. The kind who made defending teams look helpless and foolish. The kind who played at a level of physical dominance that you understand is once in a generation only after it is over. The Ring of Honor induction is deserved, overdue, and genuinely exciting for every fan who grew up watching this organization. But that is the past. The future starts this summer, in a quarterback room that Tom Pelissero is telling us might not even be a friendly place. And in Minnesota, we would not have it any other way. That is going to do it for today, Vikings fans. Smash that like button right now and help this video reach every Vikings fan who needs to hear this breakdown. Drop a comment below. Who are you rolling with, Kyler Murray or JJ McCarthy? And do you think O'Connell finally leans on the run more in 2026? I want every single take. Subscribe if you are not already here, ring the notification bell, and we will have the full schedule breakdown the moment it drops Thursday. Until next time, Skol Vikings.